I were to speak everything at once about Vishwarup Prabhu, that would probably take most of the class anyway. And so I gave some highlights of his services and his background in Krishna consciousness and some of his professional background as well. Tonight, I hope to do the same thing. Um, Vishwarup Prabhu, he graduated his MBBS in 1985 from the Mumbai University Grant Medical College, JJ Hospital. One of the things that he has pioneered is an eye clinic in Varshana, where, with no cost to the residents of Vrindavan, himself and a team of doctors, they go to Varshana, set up a medical clinic, and they provide free eye care, like cataract surgeries and checkups and follow-ups for the residents of Vrindavan who sometimes don't have access to, proper medical care and suffer decreased quality of their own life as a result of that. And each year, over 4,000 Brajabasis get served by these devotees. And he was mentioning last night as well, and I've heard also that doctors who go with them and become devotees just by participating in the eye clinic. So it's an amazing thing. Like they go as doctors and they come out as patients in ISKCON to get spiritual care. And some of the other things that Vishwarup Prabhu has been involved in has been an integration of spiritual care in the medical treatment of patients. One of the things that the Bhaktivedanta Hospital is famous for in Mumbai is that it does not only provide medical care, but if you go there just as a patient, and I was there on one occasion getting some treatment myself, and in the middle of the day, there's a Ratha Yatra passing through. Jagannath deities come out, and persons, they just get the benefit of darshan of the Lord, of kirtan. There's a temple room with Jagannath deities and full worship going on. Prabhupada you are greeted by Srila Prabhupada as you enter the hospital, and Guru Puja goes on. So he's not just a bust of sometimes you go to these prominent buildings, and there's a bust of the person to whom the building is dedicated, to whom the project is dedicated, and it collects dust unless somebody gets to clean it from time to time. But Srila Prabhupada is there greeting each and everyone who enters the hospital, and full puja goes on to Srila Prabhupada. So he's not just there as a bust or a facade or as an effigy, just for people to just have a little glance at. And one of the programs of the Bhaktivedanta Hospital is, apart from providing high quality medical care to those persons who come to partake in the facility, they provide spiritual care. And one of the things that he has done, he is the pioneer in creating the spiritual care in nursing syllabus, which is and he's also the chief faculty of the Bhaktivedanta Institute for Nursing Education in the subject matter of spiritual care and nursing. And in addition to that, he's also a senior spiritual counselor in our Radha Gopinath Bhakta Samaj. And he's been doing that and providing that service to devotees since 1989. That's longer than I know myself has been even dreaming of being in Krishna consciousness. Prabhu has been giving spiritual counsel and care to members of the congregation in Mumbai. And also he's a teacher of something which I am coming to appreciate more and more and more in my own life in dealing with my own father in his last days. He's a teacher of the end of life spiritual care at the Bhaktivedanta Hospice in Vrindavan. And Prabhu can correct me, the Bhaktivedanta Hospice provides that valuable comfort and care to devotees who are at the end of their life, who choose to conclude their earthly journey in Vrindavan Dham. It was a project, I think, pioneered by His Holiness Giriraj Swami. And that project is going on in Vrindavan. And he educates people in how to carry out this much needed care at the end of, of life, when persons are in dire need of comfort and mental security, in addition to having their medical and everyday needs met. And in addition to all that, one of the services that Prabhu does is he takes people on virtual yatra on Zoom. So not only does he serve the Brajabasis and takes doctors on yatra and turns them into patients in ISKCON, he also takes people on yatras via Zoom, an electronic platform. And we had experience of that last night. And tonight, I'm sure the festival will continue. The festival will continue. So I have said what I have said for my own purification. It is very purifying to glorify our Vaishnava. And now I will engage my ears and hearing also for my own purification. And I would ask devotees who can, please turn your videos on so it can be a more personal exchange between ourselves and Vishwarup Prabhu. And now, Vishwarup Prabhu, I hand over to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for that warm welcome. Hare Krishna. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All the great things in life, simple things in life, they only manifest due to the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it is only by the mercy of Guru that one can imagine to perform any service to Krishna or Vaishnavas. That is our greatest fortune, that we have been blessed by the association of Sri Guru and Gauranga, and because of that, service to Vaishnavas. So, as I explained to you yesterday, the Jhulan Yatra is one of the many festivities that take place in Braj Bhumi. And Braj Bhumi is flooded with festivities constantly. If we celebrate Jhulan Yatra for 5 days, it is going on for 13 days out there. If we celebrate Holi for 1 day, it goes on for 40 days out there. It's constantly some or other festival is going on. So, and there are so many festivals there which are specific to some places. I don't know whether I told you yesterday, but I like to tell you. For example, on the Radha Ashtami, everybody's focus is on Barsana. That is Radharani's birthplace, hometown, not birthplace. And it is one of the most important festivals of Braj Bhumi is Radha Ashtami in Barsana. But at the same time, Radharani's mother's mother, her name is Mukhara Devi. Radharani's mother's name is Kirtida Devi. And she was born in Mukharai village. Mukharai is a village where Radharani's Nani, that is grandmother, her name is Mukhara Devi, and grandfather Indu Sen Gopa. They all stay in Mukhara village near Radhakund. And Mukhara Devi also was very, sad because her daughter did not conceive any child for a long time. And Radharani's mother also was getting old. You can imagine how old Mukhara Devi must be. She must be very, very old. And she got the news that finally my daughter Kirtida has given birth to a beautiful girl child. And then every focus was there in Raval, where she was born. But as soon as the news came to Mukhara village, Radharani's mother's mother got so ecstatic, as an old lady. She lifted one wheel of a bullock cart, which was on the ground. She lifted that. She put up lamps on that, on the spokes of the wheel. And she started revolving the wheel on her finger, like Krishna wields the chakra. And with those so many lamps on the spoke, she whirled that wheel. And because of that, all the other gopis got inspired. And they lifted their bullock carts. They separated their bullock cart wheels from bullock cart. They put lamps on that, imitated her, and doing the same thing what she was doing, revolving like a Sudarshan chakra, that the way Krishna holds. And that's how all the gopis of that village picked up the wheels of the bullock cart, put up the lamps on that, and started dancing the way she was dancing. And that dance is called as Charakula Nritya. Charakula means a wheel, a dance which is connected with a wheel, dance which is connected with the wheel of a bullock cart. And that festival of Charakula dancing takes place every year only in that village called Mukhara. That is the unique situation of Vrindavan Dham. At the same time, I told you the only Rath Yatra which takes place from Barsana to Nandagaon and Nandagaon back to Barsana. That Rath Yatra only takes place in Barsana Nandagaon, nowhere else. That means even within Vrindavan Dham, there are certain specific festivals which don't take place in other places at all. Like, for example, the Lathamar Holi. Lathamar Holi is beating the men of Nandagaon by Barsana women, by big long bamboo sticks. And the men are protecting themselves by a shield on the head. And that takes place on the Holi. And it is so specific that it has to take place in Barsana only. The Nandagaon men will come to Barsana with the shield and with dressing up to play Holi. And the Barsana women, the gopis, they hit them lovingly and they protect themselves. The men will protect themselves on the shield. And that shield represents Balarama. And then next day, the Barsana men, they will go to Nandagaon. And the Gopas of Barsana, when they reach to Nandagaon, the Nandagaon gopis are ready with the stick and they beat them over there. That is called Nandagaon Holi. And the next day, they go to Jawat, and the next day they go to Vrindavan, the next day they go to Baldev in the southern petal of Vrindavan Dham. And that Holi itself, the last festival takes place for 15 days. At some place they will hit with bamboo, some place they will hit with stick. That is called Dauji Holi. The specific Holi which Balramji plays. And the stick represents his plow. And they hit with that. And these festivals were one time tried to be demonstrated in Vrindavan for commercial purposes. They wanted to demonstrate the festival in Vrindavan for making money. But it was very strongly and legally opposed, and the Barsana people won the case. They said that this festival cannot be imitated even in Vrindavan Dham, what to speak of Mumbai or Delhi or Barbados. They are very specific to be happening in the same place where it is supposed to happen. There's another festival called the Festival of Kamsa. You might have heard that. In the commemoration of killing of Kamsa, there's a big procession which takes place only in Mathura on a particular time in the year, when people start from the birthplace of Krishna with a big procession with the effigy of Kamsa, big portrait of Kamsa made up with cotton and all these things. It's like we have on the 31st of December in the Western world, we have a old man they make, and then they shoot the old man, burn him, representing the last year. They make the old man with all fireworks inside the body of the old man. They make him wear a suit and tie, and then put fire on that. So it get burnt. So new year begins, and we burn the old year. That kind of concept is there. So that kind of Kamsa's effigy is made, and they reach Rangabhumi, where there is temple of Lord Rangeshwar Mahadev. And that is the place where Kamsa was killed by Krishna, in the Rangabhumi, in the battle, in the wrestling arena. And then they destroy the effigy of Kamsa. So this is called as Kamska Mela. That means the fun fair of Kamsa. And this takes place only in Mathura and nowhere else. So the point I'm trying to make is, even within Vrindavan Dham, the Braj Mandal, there are very, very specific festivities which take place in specific place only. They are not imitated or replicated anywhere else. So this is the great culture of Vrindavan Dham. And somehow the beginning of Holi takes place in Barsana. Then there is distribution of the festivity of Holi and Jhulan Yatra to other places in Vrindavan. And there are different specific Jhulan Yatras. So today we will try to discuss in brief the Jhulan Yatra described by Kavi Karnapur in his book. I will show you. The book is Ananda Vrindavan Champu, written by Kavi Karnapur. So the last chapter of this book describes Jhulan Yatra. And my dear devotees, I must tell you that this description is a deep poetry. Even the translation which we read is also a poetry. Each line is studied with so many similes and so many examples and so many alankaras, literary specifications. A very deep pastime. So the essence of that pastime is that Vrinda Devi, she is the organizer of all the pastimes of Vrindavan Dham. She has a very special position. Although she doesn't belong to the group of Ashtasakis, but she is the one who is the organizer of all the pastimes with gopis. Not with coward boys, but all the pastimes that take place from beginning of sunset all over the night till sunrise in the morning or till dawn in the morning. So it's a daily organization about 10 to 12 hours of Leela. And I told you that she has many beautiful storehouses in Vrindavan Dham. Many storehouses where there are utensils, where there are ornaments, where there are so many things are there, which she has kept, dresses, ornaments, and kitchen material. And you cannot imagine what all things are there. We have our DT kitchen and DT room, which have so many things. But just a minute. There are so many things, but they are very tiny in number compared to the storehouse of Vrinda Devi. And then looking at the scenario, she gets the information and discusses with Lalita Vishaka and organizes. So this is the festival arranged by Vrinda Devi. Whether it is Jhulan, whether it is Holi, or whether it is any other festival, or Rasa Leela, all that is organized by Vrinda Devi very meticulously, time-wise, the beginning, the middle, and the more midnight, and then early morning pastimes. Everything is organized by Vrinda Devi. You can now imagine she has got millions of gopis in various groups, and she engages them so beautifully, right from who will cook, and then who is in charge of cooking today, and how many gopis will make welcome drink, how many gopis will make breakfast in between, snacks and full meal, and the betel nuts and betel leaves, pan bida, and which gopis will decorate Radha, which gopis will decorate Krishna, and who will bring Radha and Krishna in the Harinaam, who will decorate the place or kunja. And the kunja is described as an open place, and nikunja is described as a place which is closed from all directions with one gate and one gopi standing on the gate, allowing only bona fide people to enter in the kunja, nikunja. So all these specifications are there. Who will decorate the bedstead, who will decorate the asana, who will decorate the jhula, who will talk to the birds, who will talk to the trees. I want to tell you something very important, that even she trains trees to participate in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. She trains birds. She talks to the birds and engages them what to do today in the pastime of Radha and Krishna. How to add the flavor. She will engage Vanya Devata, the goddess of the forest. She will engage the goddess of the village, Gramya Devata. All the variety of Dikpalas, who are the controllers of direction, Dikpalas. All these people who reside there who are there are fully trained and fully guided by Vrinda Devi and her assistants. How to participate. You cannot imagine, even the trees offer Dandavat Pranam. The trees bend down, trees stand up, trees do all kinds of activities in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. The birds come and offer obeisances. The deers, all the animals, they offer obeisances to Radha and Krishna. They sing songs as per the guidance of Vrinda Devi. They have melodies, the honeybees, they participate. So you can imagine, we have a drama in our temple or festival. Only men and women are acting. Sometimes children are acting. But only human species act in that. But in Vrinda Devi's organization, all the species, including the lowest of all species, so-called, they also participate. They bend down and give their fruits to Krishna and Radharani. They create fragrance by offering flowers at the feet of Radharani and Krishna, and also the sweet fruits of flowers which are there on the trees. They create such aroma. Even what kind of aroma is supposed to be there today is also decided by Vrinda Devi. That is something very amazing. And that place where these kind of aromas are available today, that is a place is chosen as venue by Radharani, by Vrinda Devi. So such is the specific, detailed, divine organization of Vrinda Devi. At times, she only organizes pastimes as per the desire of the divine couple, only for divine couple, and not even one gopi will go inside. They will do all the work, all the preparation, and send the divine couple inside the forest, like Gehavarban. Gehavarban is a forest where only Radha and Krishna go inside. Gehavarban is a forest at the bottom of Mana Mandir in Barsana, near Gehavarkund, the thick forest where there are no serpentine pathways inside. And Krishna is lifting the vines by one hand and holding Radharani's hand by another hand and letting her in, guiding her in, singing beautiful songs. Oh Radharani, please come in this beautiful Gehavar forest and let's have pastimes. See, the beautiful cuckoo is so beautifully singing to welcome you. It's all for your pleasure. Please come in. And sometimes Krishna is also happily and willfully engaged by Vrinda Devi to make the flower bedstead for Radharani, to make the asan for Radharani. Sometimes he swings Radharani. So, with this brief introduction to the swing festival held in a special place in Vrindavan. Now, I'm telling you honestly, however many times I will read this chapter, it is extremely difficult and impossible to replicate what Kavi Karnapuri is putting forward in this chapter. I'll give a brief idea to you. So, the forest is chosen by Vrinda Devi, and the forest is chosen in such a way, it's not like a small room in our apartment. It's like a huge forest, maybe 50,000 square feet. This I'm just giving you an idea how big it can be and how big it should be. And in that, there are some trees which are creating a big private space inside. And the branches which are going on top and the leaves finally are intertwining together to develop a blue canopy in the center. There are all big trees which are having big branches, and all are like holding hands with one another, making a circle. You can imagine all of us are standing in a circle, holding hands of each other. We are extending our hands to other hands to hold them and to create a circle among ourselves. Like that the trees are doing. The trees are intertwining with their branches at the horizontal level and on the upper level. And they create a beautiful, tree canopy, which is blue in color, like a blue sapphire, And peripheral to that, in all directions, there are golden, there are golden color trees which are creating golden canopy. And in each tree, there is one swing, and it could be made of flowers, it could be made of gold, it could be made of diamonds, it could be made of blue sapphire, it could be made of rubies, emeralds, all kinds of esoteric divine jewels are used to decorate the particular swing or particular swings. And they're all in circle. Huh? And beyond that, there are private kunjas made of the trees of the gopis, and they have also their own swings. And now all the trees are ready. The trees are called Harichandana trees, which are in center. Which are in periphery are called as Devataru trees. These are all trees available in India. And then the golden chains are tied to the swings, which are flowing decorations. In the center area, there are 4 lines of swings belonging to different groups of leaders, faced the 4 doors of the main kunja. And also it's a private area. No gopas can come in. Nobody else can come in except the gopis who are entitled to come in. So there are gopis standing at the gate to see that only bona fide entrants are there. And it is said when you gaze up, you cannot find the end to the trees, where they are beginning, where they are ending. And then it is so thick that only few rays of the moon can possibly get in to the ground through the gaps of the leaves in the trees. You can imagine? It's a full moon night, but the whole set of trees intertwining are making it so thick that only few rays are able to get in to the ground. And those few rays of moon which get on the ground, they appear like sesame seeds and some rice grains. Because they are scattered, they are not creating a diffuse light of moon. So they appear like drops and they look like rice. So what is happening? The female deers are trying to lick it as if it's their food, as sesame seeds and rice seeds. That is their thinking. And it creates like pearl-like situation inside the arrangement of kunja created by the trees. So the moonlight is filtering through the canopies of the trees, made small filaments of light on the forest floor that looked like piles of sesame and rice. Thinking it to be food, the female deers are trying to lick it. The 4 kunjas or the mandapas or raised platforms so similar to that of the devatas, but devatas are feeling our enjoying arenas are simply insignificant compared to the areas of enjoyment of the gopis and Radha and Krishna. The scattered moonlight appeared like pearl belts taken from the deities of all directions, dikpalas, broken by the steady wind, the broadcast on earth out of respect the land of Vrindavan. It appeared as if all the stars in the sky in great bliss left their positions to come out to offer respect to land of Vrindavan. So the divinity of the land of Vrindavan just cannot be compared with anything. Even though there are Gandharvas, Charanas, Vidyadharas, and Apsaras, and Yakshas and Kinnaras, all kinds of expert, musically expert people are already gathered over there. But compared to the symphony created by the birds and the gopis by their instruments, it appears insignificant. They feel completely floored and, in one sense, humiliated by the simple honeybees when they create symphony in Vrindavan. So now you can imagine the atmosphere is not surcharged with hired musicians. These are natural musicians in the nature. The honeybees, the cuckoo birds, the cranes, the chakravakas, all kinds of birds are there, all kinds of trees are there. The breeze is assisting them by carrying aroma of beautiful pollens of fragrant flowers. So for nose, for the eyes, for the ears, for the skin, every single thing is organized in a very esoteric way in Sri Vrindavan Dham. The forest gods have decorated the canopies with strings of various kinds of fruit. Another decoration that they use with the help of trees is A beautiful canopy made by the strings of fruits which are arranged by the gopis and Vrinda Devi under the guidance of Vrinda Devi. In the jubilant mood, the gentle goddesses from different forests, carrying various festival ingredients in their hands, they assemble in Vrindavan with friendship, kindness, all good qualities. They decorate Radha and Krishna. And then what happens? Finally, all the doe-eyed gopis, Kamalanayani gopis, in thousands and hundreds of numbers, they start entering, laughing and giggling and dancing. As you say, every step is a dance, huh? And every word is a song. So with those words, that is songs, and those footsteps, these are dances. They are entering in the Kunja now to now commemorate and begin the Jhulan pastime. And thousands gopis have already arrived there. And then they all are taking their positions, because now all the nature with all the animals and birds and bees, everybody is in position to create their own atmosphere of misty divine situation. And then what happens? Finally, at the opportune time, the beautifully decorated divine couple enters. And how do they enter? Krishna is holding one lotus flower in the right hand, and his left arm is on the shoulder of Radharani, holding the flute. And Radharani also holding his hand and the flute, and he's playing some very beautiful melody, and they are both walking, and they're walking in such a way, it's like intoxicated elephant and she-elephant. It's so beautiful. Ankle bell sound of their own ankle bells are mixing up. Krishna's soft playing of flute, and Krishna is looking at Radharani, she's looking at Krishna, everybody looking at Radha and Krishna, and they are very, very beautifully, in a very melodious and a very attractive way, entering the forest. And then some gopis immediately come and welcome them with aguru and chandan and fragrant ointments. The soft rounded shoulders of the gopis rival the flower glow of Cupid. So it's all very poetic explanation. The Cupid is supposed to be very beautiful, but when gopis come together, the Cupid is floored, completely floored. He cannot stand the beauty of gopis and Radha and Krishna. So some gopis held thousands of flasks filled with fragrant aguru, musk, camphor, and sandalwood ointments. These thin, delicate flasks would break open with a breath. They're so delicate that if you breathe on that, they will break. And then what happens? Purposefully, they are broken. And all these fragrances are distributed on the ground and everywhere. They are sprinkled everywhere. And you have now divine fragrances. And then, anxiously awaiting the beginning of festival, it's already decided who will help Radha and Krishna to assemble on the swing, who will swing first, who will swing later on, who will swing from front, who will swing from behind, who will swing from sides. All of them are beautifully positioned. And there are not one jhula, there are hundreds of jhulas, the swings arranged. And some of the gopis have taken position. And now they help Radha to ascend. They help Krishna to ascend. And those beautiful divine couple are now located on the jhula. And the gopis start singing beautiful songs. And the appointed gopi will start singing Radha and Krishna, swinging Radha and Krishna. First they will do softly, then little harder, and little harder, and little harder. And then it becomes completely maddening that, almost out of 360 degrees, almost 270 degrees are covered by the swinging. They will go high on this side and go on high on that side. And it just goes on, and everybody is giggling, laughing, and shouting and making divine sounds. The birds are chirping. And then suddenly they swing so hard that the swing will go into 360 degrees completely. This is done without information to Radharani, but is planned in confidence that we will do this. And when that happens, Radha gets so scared lovingly that she embraces Krishna on the swing, and Krishna holds her and then comes down from the upper side to the lower side. And then such a glee is there, such a sound is created of fear with happiness. Again, slowly swinging, again increasing in diameter, and then finally again pushing so hard that it will go again in circle. So this happens many times. And then All the gopis are swinging, they are swinging, they're taking turns, they get on their swings and they start swinging Radha and Krishna. And then suddenly, Chandravali, the rival gopi of Radharani, she's also there with her all friends. She has also very big hundreds and millions of gopis with her. And she takes out a piston with color. Suddenly, she takes out piston with color and she shoots Krishna with that stream of colored, fragrant fluid. I will tell you something. In Vrindavan Dham, there is a specific herb available. There's a specific herb available, which is available during the holy festival time. And that herb is in the form of leaves. And those leaves are boiled in water, not in the heavy water boiling. Mild simmering is there. Then the leaves are taken out and the water takes the color and the fragrance of the leaves. And those leaves are filled up in pistons and pichkari, and they are aimed at Krishna and Radha and aimed at each other. And that when the warm fluid touches the skin glows with great health and great effulgence. The skin grows. That is the atmosphere. We don't use in Vrindavan Dham the chemicals and the oil paint and all these harmful chemicals which harm the skin, burn the skin, give allergic reactions. It's not like that. So I have myself experienced that herb, prepared the liquid at home, put in the piston, and I have experienced how it feels. It feels so beautiful. It's like the wine in the material world, makes you dull. But the somaras in heavenly planets enlivens you and multiplies the capacity of your senses to millionfold. The usual senses will become much, much more active when you take that somaras. And somaras is a heavenly beverage. What to speak of beverages of spiritual world? There you have spiritual senses. And the spiritual senses are invigorated, enlivened and enchanted by the beverages and by the liquids and thrown on the body or given to you to drink. The same way, these arrangements are made here. And Chandravali takes out that fragrant liquids made out of musk, aguru, and sandalwood, and so many other fragrant things made of flower leaves. And she first shoots a pichkari or a stream of colored liquid on Krishna. And Krishna is also very smart. Krishna's waist belt is tucked with many, many such pistons of various colors. She takes out one. He takes out one and starts shooting at Chandravali. Then Radharani gets inspired. She takes out her pichkaris given by gopis and she starts shooting. And then there's a loving war between Chandravali group and Radharani group. And they start playing Holi. Suddenly, Krishna takes out dry color. It is called as gulal or abhir. And he starts throwing. And all of, somehow it is said, Radha and Krishna are saved by the gopis, by Chandravali's attack. And Chandravali is explained by Kavi Karnapur. They are bombing. Chandravali is bombing on Radha and Krishna. They are seated on the swing and they are being swung. And at the same time, she's bombing the colors on them. That's a word used by in translation. So, all this, holy festival is mixed up with Jhulan festival in that particular forest. And Kavi Karnapur says that I am trying to explain, but it is very difficult for me to explain exactly what is happening verbatim to you. You have to have your eyes and ears there to see what is happening. Like Krishnadas Kaviraj also explains, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing, I just cannot explain to you exactly how he is jumping and dancing, how he is taking whirling, how he is circling, how he is jumping in the sky, how he falls down, and exactly what is happening. I'm just attempting in a meager way, but I cannot describe actually. This is what the explanation of Vrindavan Das Thakur, Kaviraj, Krishnadas Kaviraj, everybody. So similarly, when we have a dance on a particular festival in temple, and someone is told, okay, write it down, pen it down, everything, whatever you are seeing, a very difficult thing to pen it down. Exactly how Radhanath Swami was jumping and taking twists on his body. Very difficult to, so you have to be there to see. You cannot put in words. So similarly, Kavi Karnapur is expressing his inability to explain exactly what is happening there, but still he is explaining so beautifully and esoterically and in detail what the atmosphere is. And finally, one needs to have a pure heart, a purified heart, to appreciate these pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So this is the beautiful pastime which is explained by Kavi Karnapur in this chapter. And what to say? Trembling out of ecstatic love, Radha and Krishna are seated on the Jhula. Both are trembling in body and reeling in their eyes, intoxicated with love for each other. So this is the beauty. And we will end this pastime and go to next pastime. Now, the unlimited Jhula pastimes are envisioned by the ancient saints of Vrindavan Dham. The residents of Vrindavan Dham, who are ancient saints, local Brijvasi saints. And by the mercy of their Guru and by the mercy of Radha and Krishna, they have envisioned these pastimes in their vision, in their meditation. And whatever they have seen, they have put in the form of poetry. And that's how we have these hundreds of poetries which are there in Vrindavan Dham, which they go on singing on all these days, day and night, in very classical ragas. So one of the pastimes is like this. There is a Nikunja, private area in the forest, decorated by Vrinda Devi. And there are many flower decorated Jhulas. And they are in all four directions: east, west, north, south, northeast, northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest. All 8 directions there are swings, and there are 8 gopis standing on each and every swing. And there's a central swing in which Radha and Krishna are seated. And then I cannot explain to you, but there is an arrangement to move the swings in such direction that they cross one another. You know, Radha Krishna are swinging like this and others are swinging like this, and they are just coming like this and they are going like this, and they are all managed in such a way that they don't clash. So Radha Krishna swing in front and then swing inside, and they just one time the side ones coming like this, and in between the other goes like this, and they go in circles, but they don't clash. They are so artistic in swinging each other's swings that they swing in between, like complicated design, but they don't clash. But then they decide to change the strategy, and they get down and they put Radharani on one swing and Krishna on another swing in front of each other like this, and they start swinging like this. They go away, they come together. They go away, they come together. They go away, they come together. And other gopis are also swinging. They go away and they come together. They go away and come together. They go away and come together in all different directions. Now, all the gopis are wearing garlands and jewelry, and Radha Krishna are topmost decorated, and they have pearl necklaces, gold necklaces, diamond necklaces. They have beautiful forest flower garlands around their neck. So what is happening? When they go together, go away, the garlands are hanging, and they come together, and they sometimes are brought so close together that their garlands are interlocked with each other, and when they go away, they are pulled and they are broken. And then what happens? Then the pearl necklaces are intertwined and locked, and they are going away from each other. They get broken, and all the pearls fall on the ground. Hundreds of pearls are falling on the ground. And what the gopis are doing? Gopis are crawling on the ground, because on the upper level the swings are swinging, so they cannot disturb the swinging. So they crawl on the ground to pick up that prasad of the pearls. Toot gayi motiyan ki mala jharar jharar jhararai. That means the malas, the necklaces, they are locked with each other, and they are pulled and they are broken, and all this cascade of pearls is falling on the ground and moving. And all the gopis are jumping and running to capture those pearls, to collect them as Mahaprasadam. The flowers are falling, they're capturing the flowers. Some diamonds are falling. So like that, Beautiful arrangement takes place. The swings are not clashing, but the garlands are meeting and they are getting locked. So, and what is happening at the same time? When you swing, I don't know whether any of you have swung any time. Your clothes, for example, if men are there, their upper cloth is just flowing in the air. The ladies are there, their upper cloth is just flowing in the air. That's called chundri. Chundri means they wear dresses and they put some decorated cloth on the upper chest. And when breeze comes, it is all flowing. And how you are getting this flowing in the air? Because you are only moving in the swing. Radha Krishna are moving on the swing, and while they are moving, their cloths are flowing here and cloths are flowing there. Upper cloths are moving out. Sometimes it flies in the air, and when they flies in the air, all the gopis are running to catch that cloth which is floating in the air and about to fall down. It's like children when they're playing kite and one kite is cut in the sky, and all children are running to catch that cut kite, just to catch that thread. So like that, when all these clothes are swinging, the flowers are swinging here and there. All the ornaments are swinging here and there. They all are running around. Some are swinging, some are running around to just pick up that as Mahaprasad. So this is what takes place. And it is said that the demigods were very eager to watch this pastime. They were all stationed in the sky with their aeroplanes, with their wives and with their apsaras. And suddenly Krishna created such kind of thick cloud of colors that they were unable to see what's happening. They were disturbed. So they started flowing thousands of flowers from the sky, so that that cloud made by the color as a color cloud can be disintegrated, and again the vision can be created. So everything is amazing. Sometimes demigods are allowed to see from distance, and they are mad. All their artistic excellence is defeated by the arts of Vrindavan Dham, of the gopis, and at times of coward boys, and even the monkeys, even the bees defeat the demigods. They are all only hankering and worshipful in the mood. So this is what is happening in Vrindavan, what is happening in Barsana. And this is one pastime. At one time, Radha decides to swing. Jhula jhulay Radha pyari chunariya fair fair fair. At one time, Krishna is making her seat on the jhula and he is swinging. And her upper cloth is flowing in the air. And at times she gets down and puts Krishna on the chariot, on the jhula, and swinging. When his upper cloth is flowing, his garlands are flowing. So one cannot imagine the love that they express through all this. The only purpose of performing all these festivals in Vrindavan Dham is to enhance the love, to multiply the love that they have for each other. This is a means to express our love. Why we need festival? Why we come together? Because we want to increase our love in making Krishna and Radharani enjoy. That's why we come together. We have services, like the gopis are not trying to say, I want to sit with Radharani, I want to sit with Krishna and get swung by gopis. No. They are only working hard to help them to enjoy. They decorate themselves also, so that when they are looking beautiful, when Krishna will glance at them, Krishna's eyes will be pleased to see the beauty of all the gopis. So they will make their face so beautiful. They will make their dresses so beautiful and attractive. Color combinations and ornament combinations and the hairstyle. They will cook some beverages and some food items. All activities what they do are in cooperation and are only meant to please Radha and Krishna, and not for self-aggrandizement, not for self-glory or pushing oneself over Radha and Krishna. I want to be there. I want to garland Krishna and Radha. I want to swing. No. They will just obey Vrinda Devi. Everybody's mood is just cooperate, because the central focus is to give pleasure to the divine couple today and every day. Similarly, when we organize a festival, the only purpose is I cooperate. I do whatever is being told. I follow the leader. I follow the organizer, like Vrinda Devi. And I will simply work. What Thakur Bhaktivinoda says. Gantiya mala tir mala dibo dohar gole. I will just weave those garlands. If I'm allowed, I will garland them. If I'm not allowed, I will give some other gopi. And she will pass on. And finally, Radharani will garland Krishna. And Krishna will garland Radharani. It is their pleasure. And I derive all the pleasure in my cooperation with the organizers and in my looking at the divine couple who are getting happiness. When I see happiness on them, their face, I derive my happiness. I don't derive happiness when I am happy or I get the privilege to do certain things as a priority. So this is called as Brajbasi spirit. The Brajbasi spirit is I am the last and I push everybody in front. I glorify everybody and I want to serve each and everybody who is serving Radha and Krishna. Gopi Bharatur Padakamallayor Das Das Anudas. This is real festival. When we put ourselves last and do most million service under the guidance of the leader, and finally, with all this variety of services, we want to see Radha and Krishna happy. We want to see our Guru happy, who is the leader of our festival. And when that happens, then the spiritual world descends in your temple. The spiritual world descends in your area. The spiritual world descends wherever you are. The spiritual world descends in your heart, on the courtyard of your heart. And you become the abode of Vrindavan, Manamora Vrindavan. Your mind becomes Vrindavan. You don't have to be traveling to Vrindavan in one sense. But what is important is consciousness. What is important is creating consciousness. Thane Sita Sutikatam. By engaging ourselves into cooperative mood of service, we create Vrindavan. Wherever there is loving cooperation to please Radha and Krishna, there Sri Vrindavan loves to manifest itself. May it be Holi festival, may it be Jhulan festival, may it be Govardhan Puja festival. All the festivals, if you read, the baseline is cooperation, assisting one another, just to please Radha and Krishna. And when the root is watered, all the minutest leaves and flowers and fruits, they all get the water. They get the satisfaction, they get nourishment, they get enrichment and upliftment in their spiritual consciousness. So, bhajans and songs are unlimited in Vrindavan Dham. And it is said that Brajras Brajvachi hi jane, meaning this Brajras is only known to Brajvasis. Unless they reveal to you, you will not know. That's the meaning of their song. That you have to serve the Brajvasis and please them. And with their pleasure, they will reveal their core of heart to us. And some glimpse of that Brajras, that the mellow of Vrindavan Dham will touch our hearts. Some drop, not that they are drowning in the ocean of that nectar, but one drop will be available for us to taste as a sample and token, because we are not qualified. But still it will be available to get a glimpse. That is why we go to Barsana and serve the Brijvasis there. Because they look so ugly, they look so poor, they look uneducated. They don't have any of the things which we are aiming for in the city, which we feel proud for in the city. We want to achieve those things in the city. They are not given by Radharani. They are kept in a very ugly looking bodies. They are kept in a very uncultured, uneducated situation. They are kept in poverty. They are kept out of any position. They are simple people. So that they never get proud. They are kept in this situation purposely. And then services are created for us to go and please them. And when we go and assist them in their some deficiencies, so-called deficiencies that they have in life. And they're so simple-hearted because of no pride, because of humility and having no pride for anything, because they don't have anything to become proud. So naturally they are very simple-hearted and very humble. And it takes nothing to please them. Do little things they will please. They'll get pleased. It is said when they get pleased and they bless us, then the seed of love for the divine couple, comes in our heart. Our heart becomes fertile for that. And the creeper of Bhakti Lata starts growing in the heart. It is because only of the pleasure of the Brajvasis or the Vaishnavas of devotees of the Lord. And thus the day the Brajvasis are pleased, that day itself Radharani will recommend our name to Krishna. Okay, this is a very beautiful devotee. He has pleased our devotees. So Krishna, please accept him as your own and please show your kindness upon him. Please bless him. And who can refuse? Krishna cannot refuse when Radharani is recommending someone. So as I said yesterday also, the eye camp and the eye hospital are all external reasons to achieve the merciful glance of Radharani and to achieve the blessings of Krishna. Kada karishyasi hamam kripa kataksha bhajanam. O Radhe, when you will cast your merciful sidelong glance upon me, when your merciful glance will fall upon me, when I'll be touched by your blessings and your mercy and your compassion. That is what we are living for, basically. And then when we do that, forget about they getting vision. Of course, they'll get vision, they'll read their books and they'll run to the Sriji Mandir, Radharani's Mandir to take darshan. That is their personal gain. But our cataracts of ignorance in the heart are removed in the process. When we remove their physical cataract from the eyes, our cataract of the heart of ignorance will be removed and the reality of spiritual world will be revealed to us through the blessings of the Brijvasis in via media of Radharani. So it's an amazing situation to be able to be connected with Dham. And one way of Dham, I always say that you can go and have darshan, you can participate in the festival, you can be a witness to all these divine pastimes of Vrindavan Dham, Barsana Dham, and get purified. And it is said that about 80 million or 90 million people come every year to Barsana. In Indian language, 9 crores of people visit Barsana. And something like 4,500,000 people, they gather for Holi and Jhula and other festivals, uninvited. So much of small lanes are there, it's all crowded, all rooftops, everything is filled with people just to watch. But that is for oneself to watch and enjoy. For only few thousands of people who come out of 90 million people, they get the fortune of some service in Barsana Dham. It's a crucial, needy service. That is called as Dham Seva or Dham Vasi Seva. The service of the land of Vrindavan or service of the residents of Vrindavan. And the real connection or the firm connection or the permanent connection for us to the Dham and to lotus feet of Radha and Krishna takes place only through service. And when we are connected to the Dham through service, through menial service to Brijvasis, then the Maya that is available or standing next is unable to attract you or unable to affect you or unable to contaminate you. Because we all should know that where there is Krishna most available, Maya is also most powerful there next to Krishna only. So it is said Dham has much more Maya than cities. Where Krishna is more manifest, Maya also is very powerfully manifest over there, waiting for you to leave that most manifested Krishna and you get out of that consciousness and she captures you immediately. So it is not that we go to Dham and we're just free, only Krishna is there. No. The greatest fall downs, they take place in Dham only. Because of wrong consciousness, wrong approach, because it's like a double-edged sword, sharp sword. Mumbai and other cities, it may not be so sharp. But in Dham, because Krishna is so easily and so powerfully, overwhelmingly available to us, it is also possible that we can slip. We can go into self-enjoyment mode. Oh, I want to just sit and listen to these pastimes and not do any seva. But all the purports of the great pastimes of Krishna are revealed in the heart only by the medium of seva. Not by, I just memorize all these words and I repeat in front of you. That doesn't mean that I know all the things and I have all realization in the heart. No. There is no connection of my memorizing this pastime and my getting realizations of that pastime. They're two different things. There can be intellectual memorization at the level of brain of all the kathas, of all the experiences. But the realization Anubhuti or Sakshatkar will take place only by mercy of Vaishnavas, only by the mercy of the seva that we do. Then all these things which I am reading and trying to memorize and trying to narrate to you will be revealed in my heart as a fact, as an irrevocable fact established in my heart. And when that seva is continuous, then I'll be also at the same time protected from Maya. I'll be saved from Maya, which is going to take me away from Krishna and contaminate my consciousness, even though I'm right in the middle of Dham, amongst the devotees serving. Because there are some internal things like pride, like envy, anger, which can prop up in the heart. Why he is making the garland and putting on the deity of Krishna? Why he is allowed to swing? Why not me? I'm the organizer, but he's allowed to swing. Why that rich man who's coming as a donor is allowed to offer flowers right directly on the deities? So these are internal problems which come across, and will separate us from Krishna, and Maya is ready there, standing to take over us, capture us. Nikatastha Maya tare, jhapatiya dhore. The spiritual life is all about realization of the truth. And we want to connect our jnana, connect our knowledge with the realization. The process of converting our knowledge into realization is seva. Then that knowledge which we have acquired turns into heartfelt realization. So although we read these beautiful pastimes and all, we should not become sahajiyas, Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I want to read more about this. I want to just, it's like so tempting. But we should understand all these divine esoteric pastimes are available to all of us only through the medium of service. So let us all be on that platform. Also, the acharyas explain when we discuss divine pastimes of Radha and Krishna, what should be our mood? Natural mood is to enjoy, to enjoy at mental level. Wow, wonderful. Such wonderful things I'm hearing. So it's like a self-centered process of hearing. But the real mood should be of awe and reverence while we hear these pastimes. What is the meaning of awe and reverence while hearing the pastime? That means I should think I'm not qualified to even hear these confidential, intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. But simply by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, I'm given a chance. And they're so great pastimes, so great, grandiose pastimes, that I just give my submissive oral reception. That's all. Feeling utmost unqualified to even hear these pastimes. No one should feel that I'm able to narrate, and no one should feel I am qualified to narrate, and no one should feel I am qualified to hear. I'm now on the Rasika platform. No. The real Rasika people always feel themselves more humbler than blade of glass, more insignificant than blade of glass also. And those who feel they are qualified, they're actually fallen people. They're actually in illusion. The real ones always feel that they are most fallen. See, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, taking blade of grass in their teeth, highly qualified Vaishnavas, and falling at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are so wretched, we are so fallen. This is the dichotomy of spiritual life. So let us approach these pastimes of Radha and Krishna with the mood of being unqualified, with the mood of being servant of the servant, with the mood of awe and reverence for the Supreme Lord and His divine pastimes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So if there are any questions, we have certain 20 minutes, you can ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I mean, as usual, it was very beautiful. And one of the things I did while you were speaking, I tried to follow along from the Ananda Vrindavan Champu. And it was very beautiful, like hearing it and then also looking at the details in the text itself. One of the points that you made that stood out to me, and there were many points, but this one I took especially note of, is that under the guidance of Vrinda Devi, all these intricate arrangements are made for the orchestration of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And it seems as if these pastimes are sort of calculated in the background down to the minutest detail, like who is
Yes.
going to do what, who is going to hand which flower at what point in time, who is going to end the kunj at this time, and everybody is engaged in a particular service. And that extreme attention to detail is very clear and is very, very apparent from these descriptions. And I'm wondering how relevant that is in terms of the attention to detail in us, as practicing devotees in arranging festivals and for the pleasure of the Lord and their devotees. How can we apply that principle
Yeah,
of
it's very
attention
simple.
to detail?
It's so simple in one sense that Vrinda Devi is the organizer. She is the chief organizer. She has all the authority by Lalita and Vishaka. And she is engaging the millions of gopis in all the millions of services that they have to make the festival happen, right? I repeat again, Vrinda Devi will engage on behalf of Lalita and Vishaka all the millions of gopis in doing all the minute details of services, right? So what is the mood of the gopis? That I will just do what is told to me. Like one gopi will be told to pluck yellow colored flowers. And she will be told, when you collect yellow colored flowers, hand over to Dhanishta. She doesn't know why this whole thing is told to her. And finally, she will see my yellow colored flowers are in the garland which are going on the body of Radha and Krishna. But she will never think that, oh, why I am not allowed to pick garland Radha and Krishna. I picked up the flowers. I was in the forest in the mud to picking up the flowers. Her duty is whatever is told to me, I will do. I will not expect any credit or any privilege, any entitlement in the service of any glory is not entitled to me. Similarly, when we have a festival, we all know that someone is in charge. Everybody knows that this person is in charge. And he has been empowered by the guru or temple authority to organize. And everyone else should just follow, not try to compete with the organizer. No gopi is competing with Vrinda Devi. Why should Vrinda Devi be organizer? I should be organizer. I am also capable. All of them are capable. It's not like that. But still, Vrinda Devi is empowered. So like that, all of you may be capable, but that person is empowered to become the leader. So we are advised to just follow. If we want to create Vrindavan mood in our temple, we should learn to follow 100%. And then the festivities will become esoteric and very divine and very divinely satisfying to the soul only when we learn to assist and cooperate. That is the only thing I understand. In the whole, all the pastimes and all the leelas and all the services which Vrinda Devi organizes, the baseline is following the leader and cooperating. And when you do that, the whole thing becomes so beautifully relishable by everybody, including the divine couple. Individual soul is nourished by the mood of submission, by the mood of cooperation, and by the mood of just doing what is told, not questioning, not arguing. You can always give suggestions. Okay, we can do that. The leader approves, he will accept the idea and he will implement. But if he listens, he doesn't feel today is not appropriate, he will go ahead with this plan. We should not feel hurt and we should just accept it because this is the plan of the Lord. Today, this personality in the temple is representing Vrinda Devi. And no one questions Vrinda Devi in spiritual world or in Vrindavan Dham. So similarly, here we are like so simple devotees of Vrindavan Dham and we are under direction of the temple president or this organizer of a devotee. We are serving. And we don't have to be highly qualified or we don't have to be very lowly qualified. We have to just be what we are. And we just do whatever is told to us. Simple. So does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. I appreciate one of the final points that you made, that the local leader, let's say the temple president, as the case may be, like we can see that person as the representative of Vrinda Devi, or we can offer suggestions.
Yes.
But it's not always that we have to have our suggestions
implemented,
met at that point in time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Dandavatan Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Premanand Prabhu. Welcome.
Hare Krishna. I want to just express my my happiness in your expression of the Leela. I can almost visualize it, and I can feel the happiness that you are actually sharing. I feel it, and that is so nice. I am sure the other devotees are feeling your happiness as well. So I wanted to make sure you knew that we are really enjoying what you are giving us.
I appreciate that.
Hare Krishna.
It's all the happiness which is coming down from Sri Guru, Srila Prabhupada, to all the Vaishnavas, to the Brajbasis, to us. It's their blessings. And the more happiness will come, the more submissive will become. More cooperative will become, more happiness will flood us. I can guarantee you that.
Would you be coming to us more often?
If you order me, I will come.
We will make arrangements to Shanta Prabhu then.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And I think the Bhagavatam timings of yours are very wonderful, because that will be evening time for India. And you will be at ease. I also will be at ease.
Okay.
Festivals
Thank
are in
you.
the evenings always, so we can meet at this time. But usual times, if there is a Bhagavatam arrangement in Trinidad or Tobago or in Barbados or whatever, Guyana, I think that will match with the evening time here. Am I right? It's 9.5 hours.
Definitely. There's
Yeah.
9.5 hours difference.
Yeah. So 8 o'clock in the morning to 5:30 p.m. in the India. So that would be great.
I've already entered some preliminary discussions with Baladev Prabhu, and we're
Please.
hatching some plan already.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you
Already
what my mood is. I'll tell you what my mood is, that I am so happy to see so many devotees of so many countries, What is the miracle of Prabhupada's mercy? You can imagine. Where is India? Where is America? Where is West Indies? Where is Europe? But he has been so kind, taking so much trouble, inspiring people all over the countries, And I'm not seeing, Indian devotees. When I sometimes address US people, I only address Indian people there. Those who have gone from India and staying there and are cultivating their spiritual life. I don't see Americans attending the classes mostly. So here I see local devotees are taking up Krishna consciousness and relishing the nectar of Krishna consciousness. So this is all Prabhupada's glory. So I feel very inspired. Whatever I can do to help you, to inspire you, to serve you, that will be my great privilege, because I am so much thankful to Prabhupada that he has done such a miraculous work. Amazing work. It takes so much time to convert one person. And Prabhupada has converted millions of people by his books and by his association, by his example, by his devotees. So that is my feeling. That when I'm speaking to you, I feel only grateful by looking at you. Hari Bol. Anybody else, or we will?
If nobody else has any question, I have a question I could ask.
Yeah, please ask. Please ask.
One of the points you made last night, Prabhu, and it's a point you resonated again tonight, is that as practicing devotees, one of the things we need is to serve the Brajabasis, and that gives us access to their mercy, whereby we can actually get an introduction, as it were, to Radha and Krishna.
Connected.
So for most of us, we may not have that direct opportunity to let's say visit Vrindavan or to directly serve the Brajabasi, as the case may be. But one thought comes to mind is that Srila Prabhupada writes in the preface to the Nectar of Instruction that to be in Krishna consciousness, it means to be a follower of Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami is certainly a first-class Brajabasi.
Yeah.
So my question, therefore, is that should our consciousness, or can our consciousness also be that we see that the devotees around us are also in that mood as Brajabasis and engage in that same mood of serving them just as we would serve the Brajabasis who may actually be manifest in the Dham?
See, by the arrangement of Guru and Krishna, you have been bestowed with the arrangement of Vrindavan around you. It's only time that separates you and us from realizing that we are actually placed in Vrindavan by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. When we get more and more purified, then you will come to know the arrangement around you is perfect for you to be in Vrindavan, to realize Vrindavan, and to serve in Vrindavan. But our consciousness only finds faults in the people around us. And we say, oh, these people are not so great, you know. The devotees in Bombay are so great. The Brajvasis in Vrindavan are so great. I should go there and serve them. And when we go there, because of our contaminated consciousness, we find faults in them also there. You understand what I'm saying? The fault is within. The foul-smelling element is within you, in your cloth. And you feel, oh, this place is so dirty, foul-smelling. I should go to that place. And that place also you smell the same thing. And then you go to a different place. Again, you feel the bad smell is, everywhere is bad smell. But then finally we come to know the bad smell is within my shirt, within my kurta. So similarly, the arrangement of the Lord is perfect. Whatever association you are being bestowed with, whatever company you are being given is perfect. Whatever atmosphere you are being given is perfect by the arrangement of Guru and Krishna. So as Prabhupada said, each of my temples are Vaikunthas, non-different from Vrindavan. What does that mean? That means the place is non-different from Vrindavan, the people are non-different from Brajvasis, but do we have that vision and purification to appreciate that what I am given is the best of all, the highest of all? Our nature is to only find faults and deficiencies in what we have. And what we don't have is always good. And when we have what we don't have, then that also becomes useless. Till we don't have, it is great. And when I achieve that, what I don't have, then it's ordinary. It becomes ordinary. Why? Because it is interacting with our dirty consciousness. Whatever is available, whatever is given to us, it is always interacting with our dirty consciousness. That's why everything appears to be not so perfect. But the more we get purified and the more we get advanced in Krishna consciousness, then you see what's available to you is so great. The same devotees we met in the early days of Krishna consciousness and the same devotees we are meeting now, the same devotees. Over the period of years, we have learned to appreciate them and to appreciate their company. Why? Because they were not fallen that time and they are great now. Our consciousness has evolved. That's why we appreciate them better than what we were appreciating them 20 years back. So it's a journey of our consciousness to learn that actually we have been bestowed with the best of devotees, the best of place, and best of service. It's not that, West Indies is not good and Vrindavan is good and Mumbai is good and California is good. What is there here? What you have by the arrangement of the Lord is best for you to make your consciousness Vrindavan. It's very individualized, it's customized for each and everybody. You have been given a customized arrangement for you to realize Vrindavan within your heart and around you. I have been given a best and perfect arrangement to realize Vrindavan within me and around me. Sometimes I'm in Mumbai, sometimes I'm in Vrindavan. But both the times the opportunity is given to me to realize the Vrindavan within me. Finally, what is that? We say, Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevram. What is the meaning of that? That we remember Krishna within our heart finally. A body may be in Kolkata, body may be in Delhi, body may be in Barbados, body may be in California. But if a heart is in Vrindavan, then you go back to Vrindavan at the end of life. And if your heart is not in Vrindavan and your body is in Vrindavan, still you may not go to Vrindavan. Because it is not said, any sloka I have not read up till now, if you die in Vrindavan, you go back to Vrindavan. It is said, if you remember Vrindavan at the moment of death, then you will go back to Vrindavan. If you remember Krishna at the end of death, you can go back to Vrindavan, Krishna in the next life. So we need to realize the perfection of the Lord, which is manifesting in the situation given to you. Our effort should be to realize perfection of Lord in the location that you are in the associates that you are in the seva that you are getting, everything what is given to you. That should be our effort. And in between, Krishna allows you to go to Vrindavan, to Barsana, to stay there and to serve. It's a bonus. But what is given to you on day-to-day basis is the real mercy of the Lord. And we have to realize that. And that's the whole journey of Krishna consciousness from beginning to end. From Shraddha to Prema. That's the journey within. It's not journey without. All that is journey within. All that is happening within. And that within has to reach from Shraddha to Prema. And that Prema is Vrindavan. Wherever you are. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I saw Mother Panchatattva has a hand up.
Yeah, Mataji has raised a hand. Yes.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna Prabhuji.
Oh, Haribol Mataji.
My humble obeisances to you, Prabhu.
To you also. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much for your wonderful, inspirational lectures. Wonderful. So tonight you were talking about when we have knowledge and how do that translate into realized knowledge. So I was wondering if you could just give a little clarity on that. How do we come from Gyan to Vigyan? You know,
So,
we know.
my point was, which I will again repeat, was that knowledge is which I read. You know, I read Nectar of Devotion, I read Bhagavatam, I read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, I memorize, I quote, I write notes. That's wonderful, and that is supposed to be done as the part of 64 items. One of them is scriptural reading, you know, reading scriptures, which is told as Bhagavatam, but all literatures which are helping us to develop bhakti. But they will remain as brain substance, and they'll not turn into heart substance. You know, it all will be stored in the brain, and you can quote very eloquently, you can impress the audience, and with no realization in the heart, you can do that. I can guarantee you. You can become a pandit, and you can impress, and they will become great devotees except you. That is possible. Why is that? Because unless and until we engage in serving and pleasing our Guru and Vaishnavas, that knowledge which you have memorized cannot be converted into realization which is expected from that knowledge. Why the knowledge is given to us? To develop into convictions, to develop into realizations, so that we understand, yes, devotee seva is the ultimate. Pleasure of devotees are ultimate. That conviction has to come to you, and your lectures have to turn into that conviction in action. That I need to please the devotees who are around me and serve them if I want to really please Krishna. So that we read in the books. But if we read in the books, we don't do that. Some devotees dying, some devotees having terminal illness, some devotees suffering, you know, so many social problems, and we just say, no, I'm busy in my lectures. I have this lecture here, I have this lecture there. But when the service comes to you and you don't do it, then all knowledge becomes, you know, it can get evaporated very soon. But the knowledge which is in the brain can sink in the heart as a permanent realization through the medium of service. And that is our real wealth. The seva is a real wealth that we have in life. If we understand that, then our progress is guaranteed. We can never shun off from progress. We'll always be in progress. So, and how that seva should be? In full cooperation of the leader and the devotees around. Not trying to impress upon our position and our expertise. The seva has to be done in that cooperative mood, in humble mood, to please others and please Krishna. So while we are cultivating knowledge, we must cultivate knowledge. We must read scriptures, must read Bhagavatam, must read Chaitanya Charitamrita. But we should remember that this means nothing if I don't do service. I don't offer my services with my expertise, in my whatever I have acquired knowledge, whatever skills I have acquired. If I don't use them into serve the devotees, then all that I memorize and study will evaporate one day. And I'll tell you one more thing. If we don't use our opportunity of service, that knowledge itself will become cause of fall down. The example is given by Acharyas. Suppose you are a king and you are bedecked with so many jewels on you and you have a very heavy crown on your head and somehow you fall in the ocean. Then what will happen? The heavy crown will help you drown faster. You throw your crown, you throw your ornaments, you become lighter. and the chances of you saving yourself from drowning is much better. But if you hold on to the crown, that heavy crown will help you to drown faster in the ocean. Knowledge acquired without service is like that crown on your head, you know. If you have that crown on your head, knowledge without seva, it will only help you to drown. It serves you as Maya, as instrument of Maya. So let us make our knowledge not an instrument of Maya, but let us make our knowledge to serve the devotees. Then it will not be helping you to drown faster. Then it will help you to grow faster upwards. The upward journey will be faster for you. Because all that knowledge is in practice. What is important is to practice that what you have heard. Not just memorize and impress people's brain. That's our temptation. Oh, I'm speaking to Trinidad, I'm speaking to Guyana. Let me impress all the devotees there. But they will only be impressed temporarily, intellectually, and that inspiration will go away. But if there's heartfelt realization, it will touch your heart. If there's no heartfelt realization, it will touch your brain. And from brain, things can be easily evaporated. Please understand. And even whatever comes to your brain, you have to practice seva to get it down to your heart. It's the same process here and there, everywhere. If I speak this, I have to apply this in practice to get the realization. Then Krishna will choose one day to reveal his pastime in the heart. It's not just theory. Theory is just, whole the process of Krishna consciousness is not just to speak and speak. It's to do and do. That's all. Little bit space is there for pravachan and a lot of space is meant for seva. It's like that. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, Prabhuji. I just wanted to, just one little point. Throughout your lectures last night and tonight, the common thread I saw was seva.
Oh, yes.
Vaishnava seva. And so much emphasis on serving. So, so this is why, even, we may have the gyan or the knowledge, but we have to translate that into practically, serving the Vaishnavas. So that understanding has to be there also, not just, as you rightly say, that we can quote some shlokas or memorize some verses and so on, but we have to understand that this is, as you rightly throughout your 2 nights have been emphasizing, this seva to the devotees. So wonderful. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna. Hare.
So should we end now? Yes. Santa
Yes,
Vigraha
if
Prabhu, should we end?
If there's no other questions or
Yeah.
comments from any devotees, then I think that is quite an apt point to end on. How
It's the
we
beginning of our
appreciate.
separation till we meet again.
Yes, but definitely, like after speaking to Baladev Prabhu, he said, no, keep in touch with him. He can do some service for you.
I'll tell you more than my lectures. If we connect each other in the service of Barsana, that will be more beneficial to you and me. The seva is coming up in Barsana in the form of a hospital. For next 100 years, we can all serve together if we live or if our children are living. So it's all beginning in December. And we are starting the hospital and maybe it will get over in 1 year. And then all of us will have eternal seva. Prane arthe dhiya vacha. From our words, from our intelligence, from our resources, from our mind, we can get engaged in service to Radharani. Permanently, wherever you are in the world, you can remain connected. And that is the biggest fortune, to be united in serving Radharani and her devotees.
Yes, Prabhu. It's something I'll definitely
Hare
try to
Krishna.
get involved in. Mother Panchadatta, you had your hand up. Go
Shanta
ahead.
Vigraha.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Mother Panchadatta.
Prabhuji,
Go ahead.
yes. Dr. Vishwarup Prabhu,
Yes,
would
Mother.
it be too forward to ask you to do something in terms of pastimes for Krishna Janmashtami?
Depends on timetable because I'm also too much booked for various centers. I'm traveling somewhere. I'm also speaking on Zoom. So if you suggest some timings, then I will see if the slots are available.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
many places
so
I
we'll-
have been speaking now. The timetable is quite packed, but I can still find space if it is suitable with timetable, keeping the other
Okay.
engagements intact. I will see if I can do. I'll be happy to do.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will keep in touch.
Yes.
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Yes. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Pancha kalpatarubhyascha
Again,
kripa sindhubhyevacha
Kripasindhubhyevacha,
patitanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo,
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo,
namo
Namo
namaha.
Namaha.
Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki.
Vrinda ki jai.
I-
Prabhupada
Vaishnava
ki
Vrinda West Indies ki. Jai.
Jai.
jai. Hare Krishna. Again, Prabhu, thank you very much. And we do look forward to your association again in the future.
Jai.